Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I am glad you made it. There is a new bill that is calling for an increase in a specific pay from the VA to you. This is an important thing, right? If you don't know about it, you don't know that you need to champion it and tell your congressional member that you want them to as well. Every nickel counts, every penny counts. Upward momentum with our pay and reimbursements and all of that stuff is always welcome, no matter what it is. Whether we think it's high enough or not, a plus is better than a minus or a staying stagnant. With that, we're going to jump into it. I want to throw on a special thank you to Salvatore Latero. Thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very much. Salvatore Latero 8236. Thank you so much for the super comment. All right, so jumping into this, I'm going to pull it up here. This is really a great bill. And again, I don't think that people are going to know about it unless we talk about it. All right, so this bill is HR, House of Representatives, HR 5277. And it is Heroes Earned Affordable Lifts Act. HEAL. The HEAL Act. And we're going to read through it here. This is actually from DAV. So this is their kind of explanation of what it looks like and all of that good stuff, and a little bit of background from the DAV with a joint message from the DAV Auxiliary. So many of you may have received this in your email. DAV does a pretty great job actually at on their legislation platform. So they make it really easy to support things. They have the pre-filled letters, and you simply type in your zip code and digitally sign, and off it goes to whoever it needs to go to, right? Your congressional member, your senator, what have you. So kudos to DAV for that. And I'll throw out this. If you're not a member of at least one veteran service organization, I encourage you to do so. At a minimum, just paying your dues and never showing up at a minimum, right? You just become a paying member, creates another head count in who they represent as they're championing bills at Washington for us. Does it mean we don't do anything? No. It means we have to champion it in our backyards. We have to be the constituents' voice in the constituency, but at the Capitol, at least the veteran service organizations are there and championing it. All right, so jumping into this, HR 5277, the Heroes Earned Affordability Lifts Act, would increase the mileage reimbursement rate for travel to Department of Veterans Affairs facilities. Estimate the new travel deductible eliminate the travel deductible for examinations, care, or treatment, and expand eligibility for reimbursement to include veteran service organizations. You know what? Good. So there's a few different things here, right? It's not just increasing the rate of travel that you would be paid back for that mileage reimbursement. It also eliminates the travel deductible for examinations. And then lastly, this one's big too, in my opinion, because they're saying they also are going to be expanding eligibility for reimbursement to include veteran service organizations. What does this really mean? This means the people that can't really afford to even get to their doctor's appointment, they don't have a car. It's by the time you get reimbursed, it's like, you got to have the money to get there before you can file for reimbursement. So times are tight, and they're tighter for some than others. And the veteran service organizations have, a lot of times in areas will have a van ride type of a program that will help get veterans from where they're at to the appointment and back. And this would allow them to essentially recoup that cost, which is good. So in addition, it says local government, veteran service organizations, agencies, and caregivers who provide the transportation for veterans. So essentially anybody who is typically going to be the one who is providing the transportation could also get that reimbursement, which is great. So it includes veteran service organizations, local government veteran service agencies like your county VSO, and caregivers who provide transportation for veterans. In 2010, 2010, Congress set a minimum mileage reimbursement rate of 41.5 cents, 41.5 cents in 2010, 15 years ago, per mile, and authorized the VA Secretary to adjust the rate in line with future General Services Administration updates, so the GSA. Since then, you're going to be surprised. Since then, the VA has not updated the rate for veterans, while the current rate for federal employees is 70 cents per mile. I'm going to exaggerate, almost double. It's not really, but it's getting there. 70 cents per mile. HR 5277 addresses this gap by requiring the VA Secretary to set the rate equal to the current GSA rate, removing the $3 out-of-pocket deductible and expanding travel reimbursement eligibility to veteran service organizations, local government veteran agencies, and approved caregivers. That is fantastic, because what that's going to do is maybe, and I'm just going to throw this out there, right? But the reality is sure, the people that are already doing it, now they can recoup some of that money, makes it easier, makes it more sustainable, all that stuff. But let's move on beyond that for a second, and let's think of it this way. You're in whatever your geographic area is, maybe your county has a veteran service office that provides services, but they don't provide the travel back and forth, costs too much. Your board of supervisors or your commissioners or whatever it is, they say, no, it's just too expensive. Well, what if you were getting reimbursed for it? Now you just need a vehicle. Though a vehicle could potentially get donated, right, from maybe a dealership or something, or maybe a partial type of a situation where the county doesn't need to bear the entire burden of the vehicle purchase. But counties have a ton of vehicles. They could have a van that they could give to the Veteran Service Office. And now with that mileage reimbursement, it's running itself for free. Get volunteers to be the drivers and so forth. So anyway, this is a fantastic bill, HR 5277. If you would, reach out to your congressional members and let them know that HR 5277 needs to happen to benefit veterans. So let's move on here. It says DAV strongly supports HR 5277 in accordance with DAV Resolution number 63, which calls for full and fair reimbursement of veterans' travel costs. This bill would reduce financial barriers to care and recognizes the essential role of caregivers and service organizations in helping veterans access the medical care they've earned. Simple. We urge DAV members and supporters to contact, and look, we urge all veterans, caregivers, veteran service organizations, dependents, spouses, everybody, to contact your representative and advocate for passage of HR 5277, the HEAL Act. And look, don't let one person from your household be the one person who calls to voice this support. It should be you, your adult children, should be a spouse. Let's say if you have a mother or father that's living with you, an in-law, whatever, right? Everybody under that roof who you could touch who is of voting age should be contacting the congressional office to make these things move. Imagine the difference between 100 people making the phone call or 1,000 people making the phone call. There's different ways. I've said this before. If you want, you can stop by your congressional district office, walk in. There's staffers in there, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I just wanted to voice my support for this. If you could just pass this along, it's really important. If you don't want to go in person, make a phone call. If you don't want to make a phone call, send an email. If you don't want to send an email and you don't want to talk to anybody in person, then call after hours and leave a voicemail. You don't want to do that? Write a letter. Mail it. you have options to voice your support. With that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.